Hi guys, and welcome to Sylvia Baroque with sylviabaroque.com. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 2 trading strategies that work. Before we start guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you subscribe for my free chat room. We share there great trading ideas and there are a lot of experienced traders. Use that free environment for you and learn as much as you can from experienced traders. So let's start right away. Step number 1 is find a strong growth stock with good fundamentals. This is part of my strategy, and what I'm doing before I enter a stock, I'm looking into the fundamentals and trying to find the best growth stocks out there with the best fundamentals. Step number 2 is identify support and resistance on the chart. This is a very easy and basic technical analysis tool which I use mainly for my trading. Step number 3 is identify EMAs. I personally use the 9, 20, 50 and 200 EMA. Those EMAs are important to me and I will share in a minute with you how can you use them for entries and exits. Step number 4 is look for pullbacks near EMAs or look for support zones. Let's take a look at some of the examples here. AMD, ASML, AVLR, COOP and DIC. Those are very nice examples how to identify support and resistance zones and how to trade off support and resistance zones and how to use the EMAs as well for entering or exiting a trade. Let's start right away with AMD. AMD is a very strong stock with strong fundamentals and a lot of growth potential. I have traded this stock a couple of times this year and I still trade this stock, so I want to share with you how to identify the support and resistance zones and how to use, of course, the EMA for entries and exits. If we look back, we had here this coronavirus, and after that the stock broke out and made here new highs, broke out this current resistance zone. After this breakout, as you can see here on the chart guys, we have higher high and higher lows. We made a pullback and started to build here a support area. Now for those of you who don't know what is support area in this case is the previous low, which was touched a couple of times here, in this case 3 times, and this was also the breakout area. So every time we have a breakout, this becomes a support area. This was the previous resistance right here, and after it broke out, it becomes the support area. And as you can see here, we made a low exactly into that area, and this low was touched and tested a couple of times after that. This right here is the previous high, which acts as a resistance area. As you can see guys, we touched, like I said, a couple of times the support area, and we had a long consolidation over a couple of weeks here, and finally we made the breakout, and the more the stock consolidates, the bigger would be the breakout. In this case, we saw a long consolidation and a huge breakout after that. So our job as swing traders is to catch those huge moves here, like in this case, and focus of course on the best entries. Now the strategy what I want to share with you is using support as an entry or using EMAs as an entry. In this case, if you saw this support area, you could have started longing around the support area by seeing those doji candles and putting your stop just below the support area. If you missed that, or if you have waited for more confirmation, you could have used the EMAs here and start opening a position if you see that the stock reclaims those moving average and starts to build a consolidation base. In this example, you will have a little bit wider stop, because if you're waiting for confirmation, you will have to put your stop below the previous low and support area, so you will be not able to get the best entry compared to if you enter right at the support area. So if you're waiting for some kind of a consolidation and reclaiming of the moving average, which would have been here around this case, you would have to put your stop below the previous low. In this scenario, you would be able to add to your position if the stock doesn't break out right away and if continues to pull back a little bit more. So using the moving averages for an entry is also a very good idea, and always if you see something like a consolidation and green candles above those moving average, this is a great way to start a position and put your stop either below the moving averages or below the previous support area. In my personal case, I always put my stop below the support area and I use that range for building my positions because I'm scaling into my positions. I also want to mention here that I'm not trading breakouts. Breakouts just doesn't give us good risk reward. Therefore, I always wait for a pullback in order to catch the best entry as possible. As we saw, after this huge breakout, the stock started to consolidate again and built a little bit of support area around this level. This is the previous low, that's why it acts as a support area, and this would have been a great example where you can start a new position right into the support area. So if you have started your position right after this green candle, which is also confirmation candle, you have a very tiny stop here below the support area and huge potential into the next resistance area, which is 88.57, and the all-time high, which was back there 94. If you missed this entry here, you will need to wait for a pullback. In this case, the stock went a couple of days straight up. After that, it pulled back, and what happens here, as you can see, it started to consolidate around those moving averages, started to reclaim the moving averages, and here is your second opportunity and second strategy how you can start going into the position using the moving averages if you missed the support area. In this case, you could have used this consolidation area and put your stop just below the moving average. If you want to scale into your position, of course, you could put your stop below the support area and just use this whole area for building a position. Another great example is avalarainc.com. As we can see here, we have a very strong uptrend, and we made this huge move here back in May, and after that the stock just started to consolidate a little bit. We made this low, and this low acts right now as a support area. You can look for setups if we see a pullback into that support area. Unfortunately, guys, not every time we have those huge pullbacks and perfect pullbacks into the support area. This is not a picture perfect example, but I want to share that with you because you will see that a lot of times that the stocks does not go at the exact same price. So sometimes you just need to be flexible and use the range for building your position instead of waiting for the exact line to be tested. So now what happened in this case? Like I said, we built here the support area, we had a pullback, and we see a little bit of consolidation here, and what we see is again reclaiming of those moving averages and breaking out of those moving averages here, and this green candle here is the trigger for us for a long position. In this case, you could have put your stop right below the moving averages or the previous support area. And of course, you can use those green candles for trailing your position and stop. So as you can see, guys, this here was the previous resistance, which is previous high, and the breakout as well. After a breakout, this breakout area now and previous resistance area becomes support. As you can see here, we saw exactly that area was tested a couple of times. The first time it was not that low, but the second time we saw a test at this area. After knowing that this is our support area, we are looking for a pullback into the 112.75 and try to start a position right there. As we saw, we built a little bit of a consolidation area around the moving averages, and this is our second scenario where we can go long and use those moving averages as a trigger and for a stop loss. After this up move into the resistance area, which is very clear to see here, we saw another pullback down, another consolidation into the support area, which is a great example where to start your position. Now, if you have missed this opportunity, you always can wait for those moving averages and some consolidation around the moving averages. So let's say you didn't catch this move, you didn't catch the entry here around the support area. Your next scenario and possibility would be a consolidation above the moving averages and breakout out of the moving averages. So this is exactly what happened here. We saw this green candle, and after that we saw a little bit of consolidation, those three candles above the moving averages, and another breakout here. This could have been another possible scenario for an entry, and using in this case the moving averages for an entry. Your stop could be placed below the moving averages in previous candle consolidation or below the support area using this whole range here for scaling in. As I already mentioned, this here is a resistance area, and after that we saw a breakout out of this resistance area. Now this area becomes support here. What we are looking right now is a pullback into this support area, and exactly this happened right here. We saw a breakout of this resistance and a pullback into that area, which is now acting as a support. Like I already mentioned, you can use that in combination with the moving average for an entry. Now, I wouldn't have entered here because here was earnings and I'm never going long into a position while earnings. In this case, I would have waited for an opportunity after the earnings. And what happened is we saw a little bit of a breakout, pullback, and again, same setup over and over again. Consolidation around the moving averages, reclaiming the moving averages, and break out of this consolidation. Stop could be placed below that consolidation area, or like I already mentioned, below the support area, giving yourself room to build your position in this area. My last example here is DEC. I want to share this trade with you because this is a recent trade which I have made, and I want to share with you the two scenarios how you can trade this stock. And like I said, those are the two basic strategies that work in almost every market. As we can see here, we saw a huge breakout, huge move on the upside, a little bit of consolidation here. We had earnings, we had another breakout, which was unfortunately not that strong. And after that, we saw a pullback and consolidation here. So after this being here, the support area, I'm looking for entry around this area and start building my position around those levels. In this case, this is 242.82. I saw those doji candles here in consolidation, and that made me think that this is the bottom here and this stock is done with consolidating and it will make the next breakout. I started my position around this area as I saw this doji or reversal candle right at the 50 moving average. What happened is we saw a breakout, and now if you have missed this trade, which will happen and can happen, you have another possibility to enter here. So you have now the possibility on the second pullback into those moving averages, which is the 20 and 9 moving average. You see a reclaim of those moving average, breakout here, and you can use that tiny consolidation area for a pullback. Put your stop below those moving averages and consolidation candle, or you can put your stop below the support area and use that whole range here for building your position. So that's it for now, guys. That is how you can trade those stocks with those two simple basic strategies which work. If you have any questions, make sure you leave me a message, and of course join our free trading community, our free Discord chat. It is a great way to learn something new from an experienced trader, and I will be there and try to help you as well on your trading journey. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.